We've got breaking news coming in, that of the Indian government deciding to celebrate July 1st tomorrow as GST Day to mark the first successful implementation of One Nation, One Tax. The government will celebrate not just the rolling out of GST, but of course the very successful implementation of it by its own standards and of course record collections. Most of the GST rollout has become pretty smooth, and even the small teething problems have now been eliminated. Let's go across to my colleague Payal Mehta joining us with more details. Payal, give us a sense of what the government plans to do.
On the midnight of the 30th of June and the 1st of July. That is when the government had in fact launched the GST amidst huge celebration in the Central Hall of Parliament. A huge movement, of course, taking the country towards one country and one tax. The GST has in fact seen a lot of, development since then because, all the problems like you were mentioning have been ironed out bit by bit. The GST Council also has had about 27 meetings. So since the GST has been one move, the government says, which has been a huge impetus to the economic growth of the country. They want to celebrate it as a GST Day. The 1st of July, which is tomorrow, will be celebrated as a GST Day. Of course, that main function will be presided by, of course, stand-in Finance Minister Piyush Goyal right now, since Arun Jaitley is currently recuperating. He will also be joined by his MOS, Shiv Pratap Shukla. They will be, in fact, highlighting how the GST has been a growth engine as far as the economy is concerned. The fact that it is something which all the states have embraced because, all the members of this, it's basically a way to show that cooperative federalism is at its peak in this country. Because if you remember the GST Council, all the states are also members as well. So it's going to be very interesting because, if you remember, Shivani, last year when the GST was launched, the Congress party had boycotted these celebrations, that happened in the Central Hall of Parliament. So this time around, the government, while it's looking at 2019 and the fact that the opposition has constantly targeted them on two issues, one being demonetization and the other being the implementation of GST. Even though there have been many alterations that have been done, feedback has constantly been taken from the state, and the GST is something from where even the state benefits because the revenue is on a sharing model. The states also get their share of revenue. So clearly, this is going to be something which the opposition may not really be appreciative of. But yes, the government wants to highlight this particular achievement because they felt it was extremely critical and important as far as the growth engine for India is concerned. So that's how the government is going to be celebrating. It's interesting to know that the 1st of July will be celebrated as a GST Day.
Absolutely. Of course, the running Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, Payal, has also been talking about just the record collections against GST, marking a new era for India as well. Payal, I appreciate you joining us for the meantime.